Bird of Prey 5. El Karuga. Kapla.
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. And that means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to DadOPrey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's DadOPrey 5. Kapla, and yes, that was some Kissing Dax. Kissing Dax at the start of the stream. Thank you for a $1 before the stream super chat from John Araki. Okay, well, it is October 9th, 2023, and it is a Monday here in Karoga. What Monday is it? Is it Columbus Day? Is it Indigenous Americans Day? Is it Captain Archer's birthday? It is technically Captain Archer's birthday, but screw all those people. It is indeed instead DadOPrey's birthday today in Karoga, October 9th. It was weird because obviously birthdays work. October 9th has always been DadOPrey's birthday in our family. But as Columbus Day works, Columbus Day changes year to year. But never growing up do I ever recall DadOPrey's birthday and Columbus Day ever occurring on the same day. And I brought it up to MomOPrey, and she agrees. She doesn't ever recall DadOPrey's birthday and Columbus Day occurring on the same day. Though it must have happened. I mean, the man lived 60 years, 30 of them plus with me around. I don't remember what year they changed the holidays to be Mondays and Fridays, but I mean, I must have been in school. I was certainly very young if it didn't happen before 1985, it was soon after. So I don't know how we could have, not a single time did DadOPrey ever, say, oh, it's my birthday, you're getting today off school, or anything like that. Not that I think he would have got away with it. I mean, we pretty much knew our holidays, and back in the day, nobody was afraid to call it Columbus Day for fear of being canceled or insulting people or whatever. Columbus Day was just as good as any other holiday. Hell, maybe more interesting than some of the others. There's bullshit today about people afraid to call it Columbus Day. It's not. It's what? Uh-oh. Wait a minute, says Mom. Wait a minute. Hunting season in the Adirondack. Well, that's right. It did always fall. DadOPrey would go up to hunting the first weekend of hunting season. So you'd think that he was never home on his birthday. He was always up hunting. Oh, he would be home on his birthday, but not on Columbus Day, perhaps. Still, yeah. I don't know about that, because later on I would go up when he would go hunting, and I don't ever recall him having a birthday up there while hunting.
But he might have been gone on his birthday.
I don't know. Very suspicious. Very Mandela effect. Huh? Do you know what the Mandela effect is? You've never heard of the Mandela effect? You've heard of Nelson Mandela. Okay, well, I need to explain to you what the Mandela effect is. It won't take too long. Okay, well, first, what do you remember about Nelson Mandela? Okay.
He spent a lot of time in jail.
Okay. There's two things. Some people remember him dying in jail, and other people remember him living and becoming president of
Yes, that's the way I remember.
Right. Well, that is what really happened. In our reality, he became president of South Africa. But there's supposedly millions of people who claim not to be idiots who think that he died in jail.
Because they weren't following current events, or because they think the story is made up?
Well, the Mandela effect, they believe, is that people who believe something so strongly that they're sure that's the way they were taught in school, and then they find out it's changed. So the Mandela effect is that they somehow switched realities. Reality somehow changed for them. I understand.
My reality didn't change. October, the beginning of October, towards the middle, hunting season would open.
Yeah, yes.
And your father always tried to go opening day.
Okay, I get that. Okay, but I'm just telling you what the Mandela effect is. So now, while the Mandela, I always believe Mandela lived and became president, and
Right.
there was other things like Tiananmen Square.
What happened to the guy in front of the
Right.
the
Yeah.
tank? Did he live? Did he die? Did he
Exactly.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Okay, but well, do you remember what was told? Like what the I mean, nobody knows exactly what happened if you weren't there, but you know what was reported, or you don't remember what.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I only remember that nobody knew what
Oh, well,
what was reported.
to be honest,
You know,
I don't remember anymore because of Mandela effect. One thing is that we lived, the other is that he was killed. He was run over by the tank. I thought he was run over by the tank.
yeah, to me it would have been a miracle had he lived.
Right.
I don't think the tank stopped.
Anyway, then there's other things like the kids' book, the Bernstein Bears.
Yeah.
Is that what you remember?
Bernstein Bears?
The Bernstein Bears?
Yeah. It's not the Bernstein Bears?
It's not the Bernstein.
What is it?
If you look at the way it's spelled, it's not Bernstein, it's like some other spelling. Bernstein or something Bears. I'll bring it up.
All right.
That one gets a lot of people. Bernstein Bears.
Berenstein?
Berenstein Bears.
Stain.
Berenstain Bears.
No. I read all those books and never picked that up.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I think that's all been changed.
It's not. That's Berenstain Bears. Wikipedia. The Berenstain Bears, the children's literature franchise created by Stan and Jan Berenstain.
Okay. Right. Okay.
A lot of people mistype it.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I've been around before Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't trust them 100% either.
No, I understand that. But,
okay, but no.
But see, that's one where people say there's no way they were that wrong the entire time.
I guess so. All right. Hi, everybody. Bye, everybody. Leaving now. Well, not leaving.
Stepping away.
Right.
No. Anyway, Richie Poole was first in the chat. Welcome, Richie, with an alpaca. Says one VIX. And he says, I think we need a DadOPrey emoji. You know, had I thought about this last week, Richie, we might have done a DadOPrey emoji. Although, to be fair, none of you will ever really know DadOPrey. So, except on days like today, I don't know if an emoji would have been appropriate. Sci-Fi Mombi says, hail, DadOPrey, kapla, Sci-Fi Mombi. John Araki says, shalom world, and a candle. And yeah, we got big troubles in the Middle East today. Well, been big troubles in the Middle East for a long time, but bigger than they've been in a long time today. And a candle, possibly for the Middle East, possibly for DadOPrey. Either way, it's acknowledged. And John Araki says, didn't World War III start in 2026 in Trek. It's probably around that time. And John Araki with his $1 super chat that then gave us some kissing dacks. Thank you, John Araki. And Richie Poole says 2026 to 2053, according to Memory Alpha. Well, that is a very long time to be fighting a third world war. And John Araki puts in the rant emoji, which is a thank you to 75 plus channel members as of last week. As of last, let's say, as of Friday, we hit 76 members. Thank you to our last batch of channel members, which was Words and Pictures. Words and Pictures gifted 5 more members on Friday and got us over the hump. So I threw up a very quick rant emoji. I can still change it. I could change it to anything. It doesn't have to be rant, but I just put something up to save it. Because once it's up, we get to keep it. If I didn't choose it and we fell below 75 members, then I wouldn't get to edit it again. Last Sunday case is Kapla Bird and the DadOPrey. Remembering dads. I lost my father 35 years ago this month. 29th is the anniversary. May we both honor them and keep the best of what they imparted to us alive for the future. Absolutely, last son of Faye. Absolutely. And he also says, hail the chat. I hope all are well and having a great day, as do I. Not Ryan Johnson says, hello and Kapla. Hail Karoga. Hail Karoga. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, Kapla, Kapla, Gorilla. Miss Lodell's Groovy Movies says, Kapla, fat left to the face. Schwario says, onward and upward. LDG says, where's Bird? I'm here. I was just 2 minutes late. Schwario says, DadOPrey 5, Kapla Bird. Hope you and the other DadOPreys are doing well today. Thank you, Schwario. Bradley Briggs says, zup, y'all, zup, Bradley. Schwario says, onward and upward. Yvette says, good evening, Bird, and everyone. Good evening to the lovely Yvette. And where are we? We jumped. It jumped, and there we are. Yvette says, good evening. I said, good evening. Keely Chow says, hey, everybody. Hello, Keely. Hakeem says, evening, Bird, and all. Kapla, Kapla, Hakeem. Keely Chow says, rest in peace, DadOPrey. Thank you. Welcome, Dan Ben. Keely Chow turned 40 yesterday. Happy birthday, Keely Chow. Wow, 40 years old. Okay, Keely, this is for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Keely Chow. Happy birthday to you. And I hope you have many, many more, Keely. Enjoy your 40s. I hope somebody does. Not Ryan Johnson says, Bird is late. Must have taken a bat left to the face again. No, it just got a little busy. A little busy than I thought I'd be. I went from having 10 minutes to spare to looking and be like, oh shit, I'm 2 minutes late. I don't know what happened to those 12 minutes. Words and Pictures says, Kapla Bird, good to hear you. Good to be here. Thank you, Words and Pictures. Good to have you. Keely Chow says, Kapla, Kapla, Keely. Jedi Bill says, Kapla, Brother Warrior, BirdoPrey 5. And hail Garoga Kapla, Jedi Bill. And I hope your computer is still doing well. Keely Chow says, kissing Dax makes me want to feed the ducks. And Keely Chow puts in a bunch of ducks. Quack, 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 quack. Daniel's Hot Topic says, hello, bird. Hello, Daniel. Keely Chow says, hello to Jedi Bill. Roll Tide. Brother Warrior, Roll Tide. Dan Benz has just had to get some medicine called milk of magnesia. I think that's how it's spelled, but it's gross. I'm sorry to hear that, Dan Benz. Not Ryan John. What? Mama Pray? Mama Pray suggests Miralax. As do I, if that's what you need it for. Not Ryan Johnson says, Dan Ben, milk of magnesia, gross is an understatement. Resolute Germ says, hello all. Sci-Fi Mommy says, Kapla. The Travelers is BirdoPrey 5. Greetings, birds, salty turds, and nerds. Greetings, Traveler. Resolute Germ says, the Mandela effect is a lie to make up for a bad memory. I agree on part of it. Now, I'll tell you, I'm not sure because I remember reading the Monopoly instructions, front, center, backwards. Okay, I loved the game Monopoly. I loved the board game Monopoly. I would play with DadOPrey. I would cheat all the time. But whatever. But I wanted to know the rules because I knew we had, these fake family rules about putting money, landing on free parking, and collecting all the money. Now, when I would play with my friends, we would only put in the money that was paid to taxes in the middle and then get that from free parking. When we play with my aunt, who I loved deeply, she just, all the money ever spent at the bank. So all the money from all the properties, from the houses and hotel buyings, any money you'd put into the bank, she would just put it in the middle. And then you land on free parking and you had like billions of dollars. Like we would always run out of money for her, we'd run out of money. So she would have to write out IOUs from the bank for like $5,000. And so, whoever wins basically just becomes the banker because you effectively got all the money if you landed on free park. But anyway, the point being, I know I read the rules to Monopoly over and over and over again. And at no point until the year 2019 or thereabouts, did I ever hear the rule that if you landed on a property and you didn't buy the property goes to auction. Where the fuck did that come from? Now, if you the Monopoly people, the company that made that makes Monopoly, whatever, Parker Brothers or whoever it is, they swear that this has always been in the rules. And if you go and you read the modern rules of Monopoly, sure enough, it's there. But even worse, if you go to the internet and you look up Monopoly instructions from like 1965 or 1985 or any year, and they bring up a PDF file of the original Monopoly instructions, It's there too. So they're trying to tell me that when I could read and I read the instructions in, 1990, I just skipped over an entire section that said if you land on a property and you chose not to buy it, that it goes up for auction. That would have been wonderful. I would have loved doing auctions. Plus, then I could have bought the property for potentially less at auction than it would have cost to pay. I'm just saying the game would have been so much better. The whole part of the game going forever was because it takes forever for people to land on the properties to buy. But this meant anytime anybody landed on a property, somebody was going to buy it, even if it was $1. If it was a single dollar, they would buy it. Somebody would buy it at auction. So the whole game would have been tremendously better had anybody read that rule. But nobody I ever played with, including friends from other families who didn't have the stupid, and I'm not saying it was stupid myself, who didn't have all these free parking rules and these rules about getting out of jail or getting in jail or not being able to collect rent while in jail, which is another bullshit rule. Nobody ever knew this. Nobody ever told it to me. No, I didn't find out that this rule existed until 2019. Now that is some Mandela effect. That is a different universe. The rules of monopoly did not properly exist in the universe I existed in until 2019. Sci-Fi Mombi says hail to Richie Poole and John Araki and Last Son of K and Not Ryan Johnson and Gorilla's Random Thoughts. Dan Van says yes to help with upset stomachs and stuff. Okay, well then maybe not Miralax. John Araki says hail to Sci-Fi. Sci-Fi Mommy also says hail to Miss Londell's groovy movies. John Araki says, is the Mandela effect believing there are 4 lights? No. Dan Van says, is the Mandela effect like Sex in the City, and you really think it's the wrong one? Yes. Sci-Fi Mommy is hailing everybody. Schwario, LDG, Bradley Briggs, Yvette, Keely Chow, Hakeem, Dan Ben, Words and Pictures, Jedi Bill, and Daniel's Hot Topics. Wow. Words and Pictures says Columbus Day was originally observed every October 12th, but was changed to the second Monday in October in 1971. So that was long before I was born. So my entire life, it was the second Monday in October, and yet I never remember October 9th being the second Monday in October. Sean Estep says the Bernstein Bears, 100% not Berenstein. Yeah. Bradley Briggs says Berenstein. John Araki says the Mandela effect is why Desmond needed to push buttons in the hatch on Lost. Don't get me started on Lost. Resolute Germ says he was run over by a tank, but they never showed it. Sci-Fi Mombi says, hey to Resolute. Says hi back. Bradley Briggs says, yeah, it was a weird-ass spelling that I'll never get right. John Araki says, is the Mandela effect why Springfield International Water Drainage Commission is checking to see if the water drains clockwise in Australia? That's the Coriolis effect. Dan Van says, so the Mandela effect is different to a conspiracy theory. Yeah, it's a little different. Resolute says, I never heard anyone call it Bernstein Bears before. That's the only thing they called it here. Yvette says, is it Looney Tunes or Looney Tunes? What? Oh, Tunes, Toons or Tuens. I know now it's Tunes. Daniel's Hot Topics is Bird of Prey 5 is the Mandela effect is proof that the multiverse exists. So it's fun to think there are billions, if not trillions of versions of us out there. Keely Chow is hailing the sci-fi Mombi. Yvette says, I have read a lot on this phenomenon as it crosses over with quantum physics. Sci-fi Mombi was a lot of live long and prospers. LDG putting up a whole bunch of rants. Rezo Germs is holy cow, 76 members. Bird is rich. Yeah, I'm rich, all right. I'm using all that membership money to buy lottery tickets for tonight. So I'm reinvesting. Not really, but I should. Dan Vance says, I got some medicine I can't even pronounce the name of. I can't pronounce the name of most of my medications. Not Ryan Johnson is hailing sci-fi Mombi. LD says, maybe I can help you on that bird. Rant, thank you for taking my suggestion. On what? Keely Chow says, thank you, bird. Dan Van says, 5 more years until I'm 40. Nina Green says, hello, bird. Hey, Nina. Hope you're doing well. Dan Van, enjoy your time. Enjoy your 30s. I never got a chance to. Those are some good years. Keely Chow says, hey to Nina. Dan Van says, it's a replacement medicine. They can't get the ingredients for the regular one from another country. John Araki says, hashtag bird sheets. I will admit, in my younger days, I did unfortunately cheat at Monopoly. Now, I'll say that when you let a 12-year-old be the banker, what do you expect? Nina Green says hello to Keely Chow. Daniel's Hot Topic says, I got first Monopoly Junior back when I was a kid. Then I got OG Monopoly. Then I saw Star Wars Monopoly, but I had no money to get it. But now I have money, but have nowhere to see it. Ain't that the way? Yeah. Or then you'll get the money and have no friends to play it with because they know you cheated and they refuse to play with you. Maybe maybe that was just my problem. LDG at hashtag free the net says bad memory is the simulation's resolution to hide the truth that the universe is glitching every time it reboots. When I create Project Prometheus and it crashes, watch the Mandela movie to get this. I never heard of a Mandela movie. Dan Van says, I played Monopoly a lot when I was younger. Daniel's Hot Topic says, I wish I could go back in time to 2017 and do the part all the way now, all over again. I wish I could go back in time to 2017 and do that part all the way now, all over again. Oh, do 2017 to now, all over again. Words and Pictures says Monopoly rant. Resolute Germ is putting in some rant emojis. Dan Benz says apparently, even if you lose all your money, you can still be in the game or something. It sounds like some modern rules. Bradley Briggs says, my family has always played with the property auction rule. I don't know where you existed, Bradley Briggs. I had never seen anybody ever play with that rule. Resolute Germs says, Bird was cheating for decades, and he didn't even know it. Now, we weren't cheating, we just weren't playing by the rules. There's a big difference. If everybody agrees on the rules, it's not cheating. Hakeem is hailing Sci-Fi Mombi. John Araki says, send Bird money. He needs to buy City Skylines too. That actually, it's coming out, October 24th? Yeah, I will probably buy it on my own. I don't need people to send me money, thank you, but I don't know. I spend so much time playing Governor of Poker 3 that I am seriously considering. I was really close to uninstalling the game. And I say uninstall, but I just mean delete the link to it, because at this point, I only play it through the web browser, so I don't need it installed. But my most productive couple of hours every morning, when I used to be doing YouTube videos, now I just play poker in them. And I was really close to saying goodbye forever because I was losing money. But then I won a few big hands, and then today I won 1 billion chips, and I was like, holy shit. So now I'm up to like 3.5 billion after being at thought I was going to go under 2 billion for the first time. I was ready to throw it all away. And a week later, and I'm at almost double where I was. So I don't know. I don't know. But the next time things go badly, I will probably just do everything into 1 or 2 big hands. And if I don't double my money, and by money I mean fake money, of course, I think I want to change over to City Skylines 2. If I'm going to waste my time, I'd rather waste it playing City Skylines 2 than playing useless Governor of Poker. But who knows? We'll see. Resolute Germ says, got to be sure to buy some tickets myself. Yeah, tonight is some 1.5, I think it's tonight, $1.5 billion. If not tonight, then tomorrow night, but sometime. Well, go ahead and get your tickets as soon as possible if you're going to play Powerball. Gorilla says hi to everyone who said hi to me at work, so I can't watch chat. That's fine, Gorilla. I feel terrible when I'm in somebody's stream and I say hello, and then people start saying hello to me. And I can't say hello back to everybody, but God damn it, I try. If I say hello back to one person, then 2 more people, okay, I say hello to them, and then I see somebody else, and I was like, why the fuck did I even bother? I'm here to listen to the person streaming, and I'm sorry. So I do apologize if I don't write back to you on somebody else's stream. Most of the time, it probably means I didn't see you. But in some rare cases, I did see you, but I still didn't write. Understand, I had 3 other things going on, and I just couldn't get to it. Because if I can, I will write back. I will write back every time. And even though I say I'm not going to write back to myself, I always end up writing back because I feel too bad to not write back. The only times I've ever not written back is because I was just so busy. I was like on my side. I wasn't able to type at the keyboard. It's just easier. I have less anxiety to respond, even though I don't think I should have to, but it's just less anxious to just respond to everybody rather than to draw the line. The line must be drawn here, this far, no further. No, the line can move, and I'll just keep moving with the line for as long as I can. When I really can't respond, then I realize that, if you're going to get upset that I didn't write back, then you're just going to have to get upset because, trust me, if I don't write back, there's enough going on that you would understand. If you could see what it was going on, you would get it. Dan Ben says, "Come on, everybody, do the Batman." And he says, "Do the Bartman." And Dan Ben says, "The game Clue had a big rule book." Dan Ben says, "I never done the auction thing in Monopoly, and I played Junior Monopoly in the 90s. It was set at a fun fair." Resu Germs says, "Bird needs virtual gamblers anonymous." No, I need real gamblers anonymous, virtually. Bradley Briggs says, "That's how gambling, poker, and casinos get you. I'm about to quit. I just won huge stuff." Mark Krause says, "Hello there, ladies and gentle boys." Bradley Briggs is a guy I watch every day and hearts every single one of his comments. It's a habit. I gotta. Bradley Briggs is a guy I watch every day, hearts every one of his comments. It's a habit, gotta be. I tend to heart every comment people leave on a stream as me showing you I've read your comment. Okay? I want you to know I read the comment, so I heart it. There's maybe 20% of comments I don't heart. Now, I may have read them, but if it's like a sad comment, like, "Hey, Bird, my dad died today," well, I'm not going to heart that because it's not a comment that's, like, "Oh, I'm happy." I'm not happy, obviously, to hear that. Now, that I might reply to, and you say, you have my condolences, but I won't heart that. Also, if you just do a completely ridiculous comment that has nothing to do with the video, I generally don't heart that either. But if you make a comment that has something to do with the video and I read it, generally I will heart it because I just feel like even if I don't respond to it, I want you to know I did see it, I did read it. Miss Lundell says, "Monopoly, a surefire way to get kids fighting each other." Gorilla says, "I only buy tickets when Jill swears on her streams." Too bad Jill. Is Jill streaming today? Maybe we could get her to swear. Get her to bless our tickets. I'll take a blessing on a ticket too. Just in case. Okay. So No Bernstein Bears. October 9th. On October 9th, 1951, DadOPrey was born. This is the DadOPrey Memorial website page. It was when DadOPrey passed away that day. I was quite upset. I was still here. I was in the hospital bed and I didn't know what I could do. After thinking, I was like, I had the capability of making a website, something to remember DadOPrey. And so fairly quickly, I went ahead and purchased the domain name and some web space. And I put up the memorial, the DadOPrey. What?
I didn't go home because of what
Yeah.
they had to get me. I'm sorry.
No problem, DadOPrey. DadOPrey was not, I was talking about something unrelated. So Rudy, that was DadOPrey's name, was a loving father and husband. He was born in October of 1951 to Phyllis and Rudolph. That was Mama and Papa OPrey. He grew up in Marine Park, Brooklyn. He married Joanne, Mama OPrey, in 1976 and had 2 children, Joey and Diana, yes, me and Sis OPrey. Rudy held many jobs in his life, from working at Carvel to truck driving to supermarket manager. He also had a video game and vending business and illegal slot machine, and created and sold a successful car service company. In his spare time, he enjoyed playing poker, both online and at his beloved Midget Squadron Yacht Club, where he held many offices over the years, including that of Commodore, basically president of the yacht club. He also enjoyed boating and treasured the time he was able to take his boat out in recent years. Unfortunately, the last years of his life were sad and difficult. His son Joey became very ill in 2009, was left unable to walk, and mostly bedbound after a long hospitalization. When Joey returned home, Rudy helped Joanne take care of him. It was not long, however, that Rudy began having serious medical issues of his own. He soon needed regular dialysis, and after several hospitalizations, he was left too weak to walk or make his regular trips into Brooklyn. Ultimately, complications from dialysis and several severe infections cost him his life in December 2011. He held on a few days past Mama OPrey's birthday. He is survived by his children, his wife, his mother, his brother, his sister, and their families. Click the image above to browse the photo album with pictures of Rudy with his friends and family. And then there was a view to sign the guest book, which surprisingly still works. And we had a 2016 entry from a family member, cousin in California, who is still looking for things. And this is the picture that DadOPrey with my Jeep upstate in the Adirondacks. Always, that was one of the better pictures taken. And these are a couple of, when I had been in the hospital already, the early days, DadOPrey. And this isn't Sassy, this is Charlie. Charlie, DadOPrey's dog Charlie, not obviously her son Charlie. DadOPrey would come home, stop at White Castle, get a couple burgers for him and a couple of burgers for the dog. It's probably, Anyway, here's him as Commodore of his club, and this is up in the Adirondacks where he loved to just cut the grass. He had a big, full-size red tractor with a brush hog. That is what he really enjoyed, but it got so hard to keep that running, and he ended up just giving it away. Technically didn't give it away. A neighbor up there was supposed to just keep it running and bring it over when we needed it. But, when you only get up there once a year, basically you just give it away. So we ended up buying a cheap riding lawnmower at Walmart. That was good for a couple of years. And then after I got sick and we stopped going, somebody just drove away with it, pulled it or took it. They didn't drive it away because we had the key with us, but it was gone. They just took it at some point. Yeah, DadOPrey loved to just cut the grass, and I was younger, and he was in the big tractor with the brush hog. I used to just follow him walking around the fields. Granted, had I been thought ahead, I probably would have thought that's probably not the smartest thing to do. God forbid the brush hog hit a piece of wood or a rock or something. You don't want to be too close to it. But, fortune always favors ships named Enterprise and DadOPrey 5. There's DadOPrey with his mother, who passed away a couple of years ago. DadOPrey with me and DadOPrey when DadOPrey had graduated from college. There's DadOPrey as Commodore of his boat club, which is, I think, some of his happiest times. This is an old picture from 1993. MomOPrey, DadOPrey, DadOPrey's father on the right. Old picture of DadOPrey from when him and MomOPrey were dating. I believe, or very early picture, perhaps right after they were married. Anyway, we're not going to go through all the pictures. I just wanted to go through some. And, you know, DadOPrey, he was a very nice guy. But no, nobody here really knew him. But if you did know him, I'm sure you would have thought he was a very nice guy. He was sincere. He would always try to help. He generally didn't start fights. He was a peacemaker more than anything. He didn't like to see trouble. And if you needed help, he was probably the first one to volunteer. So truly, the world is sadder without him. Basco scenario is in the house. Applaud Basco. And Gorilla says, that looks like you on a lawnmower. Well, it's not. To be honest, we didn't look all that much alike. There's one person in my family I physically resembled most in the face. It's my mother's brother. I would say I have more of DadOPrey's looks in that respect. Although physically by size, yes, I much closer in size to DadOPrey. Height, weight. Although he had far more hair than I did for a longer time. It was only in his last few years that his hair got super thin. And even then, he had more hair. He had way more hair at 60 than I had at 40. Jim's Landscape LLC, Commodore Productions. Hey, Jim. Hail, Bird in chat. Hail to you and Commodore. He says a test intro video. Very cool. And I will come up on one of your streams one day, Commodore. I just need to find a day that works for both of us. Jim says, I run a Cub Cadet Pro Z mower with string wheel type. I have no idea what any of that means. This was just what our local Walmart had on sale one day. And it ran, maybe we got 6 or 7 days use out of this thing over 2 or 3 years. And then that was it. I mean, all it had to do was run for a day, maybe 2 days, and then sit for 6 months. Run for 2 days, sit for 6 months. And like I said, over a couple of years, that's all we had it for. Stanley says, my dad also loves cutting the grass. Weird. He's very proud of his lawn. DadOPrey looks a bit like Rodney Dangerfield. I don't know about that. Stanley says, wow, they had color photos in '93. Yeah. He's also a Jeep fan. No, I was the Jeep fan. That was my Jeep. He didn't mind the Jeep, but he was more of a Ford guy, I guess. Chevy? Oh, DadOPrey was the Ford. DadOPrey was the Chevy. Lincoln. Well, he liked Lincolns, which is a Ford motor. That's why I was saying Ford. I know he liked his Lincoln Town Car. Pleasant Valley Picker, Canada, says Kapla Bird. Hail the usual suspects. Some smiles. And Schwario says, I love the smell of freshly cut grass. Indeed. Indeed. Well, I mean, there were tons and tons of fields up in the Adirondacks. And I mean, some of the fields had these big rocks. So they used to put up poles so the brush hog didn't crack a blade hitting these rocks. And then there would be, places where there were stumps of trees and logs and shit. So you didn't want that to break. But Pleasant Valley Picker says fresh cut grass makes me sneeze. Well, that's unfortunate because it does smell good. So we have a calendar today. Besides DadOPrey's birthday, there are multiple other people fighting for today. Okay? It's, first off, a big fuck you to National Day for putting Indigenous Peoples Day above Columbus Day. Okay, today is Columbus Day. And the only exception I would give is for our friends up in Canada. Okay, today is also Canadian Thanksgiving Day. So if you're up in Canada and you want to say it's Thanksgiving instead of Columbus Day, okay, we can still be friends. But if you want to say it's Indigenous Peoples Day instead of Columbus Day, then fuck you, buddy. Okay? If you want to say it's Indigenous Peoples Day too, that's fine. That's fine. You know what? I think it's stupid, but it's fine. You can acknowledge it as an additional day. But don't tell me it's Indigenous Peoples Day, period. Because it wouldn't be Indigenous Peoples Day if not for the fact that it was first Columbus Day. And if not for the fact that Christopher Columbus existed, he wouldn't have Indigenous Peoples Day at all. So fuck you. Nothing personal, but it's Columbus Day. Now, if you want to make tomorrow Indigenous Peoples Day, that's good. I think you should. I might even celebrate it. But I'm not going to not celebrate Columbus Day because what? You don't want to accept the truth? Now, there's also these other days. National C60 Day, Carbon 60 Day. Scientists, nutritionists, doctors, and alternative health community love the powerful antioxidant properties of carbon 60. I had no idea carbon 60 was even safe to digest. I would have thought there's nothing that could possibly do in your body. The whole point of carbon 60 molecule is that every atom of carbon is attached to every other carbon atom of carbon as a buckyball. What the fuck could it even do? National C60 Day, October 9th, creates awareness of the molecule C60, labeled as a free radical sponge with unbelievable antioxidant properties and countless benefits. I mean, this looks like the fucking omega molecule. Although it may sound like the name of a character from Star Wars, C60, the fact it was discovered by scientists studying interstellar space, C60 is completely natural and actually found in the carbon-rich atmospheres of red giant stars. C60's antioxidant power is several hundred times higher than that of conventional antioxidants, which is what sets it apart. It works at the cellular level to lift the oxidative burden, and enhance mitochondrial function. What sets C60 manufacturers apart is how they purify C60. This sounds like a commercial. C60 is purified through sublimation versus the commonly used oven-baked method, which involves solvents. It is recommended, and although it's a little pricier than other C60 products, you'll definitely get what you pay for. A cleaner product with absolutely no solvents used during purification process. You can get your hands on 99.99% pure sublimated C60 through C60 Purple Power. Do they know that they're basically a spammer? How C60 may support your wellness at the cellular level. C60 neutralizes free radicals, lifts the oxidative burden, which I'm not sure is anything, and optimizes mitochondrial function, which is another bullshit claim. History of National C60 Day. Carbon is the basis of life, despite being a common element. It's one of the most complex and most studied. C60 or carbon 60 is a fullerene uniquely made up of 60 carbon atoms that naturally occur, resembling a tiny hollow soccer ball. The proper scientific term for C60 is Buckminster mean, named after the revolutionary theorist, inventor, futurist Buckminster Fuller. He was the first to hypothesize. Oh my God. Theorize the existence of the molecule in 1979 and predicted that the carbon molecule would be widely used in medicine in the future. In 1985, Sir Harold Walter Kroto of the University of Sussex, along with Richard Smalley and Bob Curl of Rice University, conducted experiments to determine the molecule responsible for absorbing infrared light in outer space. Spectrometry. Evidence showed the formulation of C60 atoms with a spheroidal geometry. The serendipitous findings resulted in the discovery of C60. The molecule was named Buckminster Fuller, in honor of Buckminster Fuller. Just call them fucking buckyballs. The three scientists were awarded the Nobel Prize for discovering C60 on October 9th, 1996. Every year on this date, C60 Day is celebrated. How does it make it safe? How is it an antioxidant? So where did C60 come from? Not only is it found in nature, but it very likely predates life on Earth. It's produced by dying stars called red giants to be found in meteor impacts lightning strikes, and very tiny amounts can be found in burnt wicks of candles. The incredible versatility and resilience of C60 has led to suggest that C60 may have played part in the formation of life itself. C60 has gained a reputation in the alternative health community and is increasingly recommended by doctors and nutritionists. A human study in 2010 found that when applied topically, C60 is effective at lessening the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. What? The most well-known C60 experiment is conducted. Findings showed an increased lifespan of rats by 90%. They created super rats. Why? Why would you do that? You better give some C60 to cats so they can fight with the rats. Purple C60 power established. Scientist Ken Schwartz establishes the C60 Purple Power brand in the U.S., offering 99.99% pure carbon 60, made with 100% certified organic healthy oils. C60 for pets, first flavored C60 products. Purple Power introduces the first flavored C60 products in organic MCT oil, cinnamon, orange, and peppermint. First edible massage oil with C60. What are we even looking at here? Sugar-free. Oh, gummies. October 2022. First C60 gummies. And then we got sugar-free. Cherry gummies. The first C60 gummy in the world. Anti-gravity serum. C60 Shop 60 introduces C60 anti-gravity serum, a transformable anti-aging skincare product. Yeah, okay. This is this is one big spam. This is one big spam. I was trying to give it some time to convince me of how carbon 60 actually is good for the body, but apparently there's no actual answer to that. So it's World Post Day, Curious Events Day, Health and Sports Day in Japan, International Beer and Pizza Day, International Day of Respect for Cultural Diversity. Make the celebration more inclusive and festive by calling it the International Day of Respect for Cultural Diversity. No thanks. Leif Erikson Day, another person trying to steal Columbus's day. We remember the explorer credited with bringing the first Nordic people to America, and then they all left. National DigiTool Day. Celebrate the day by participating in ballooning events and make sure you install the DB13 model. The fuck? National Heritage Day in Turks and Caicos. National Heroes Day of the Bahamas. National Kick Butt Day. That's what I'm talking about. National Moldy Cheese Day. Oh, God. Get ready to treat yourself to some spectacular gastronomic delights. National Native American Day. National Online Bank Day. Do you remember the last time you visited a bank? Neither do we, thanks to online banking. DadOPrey visited a bank the other day. National Pro-Life Cupcake Day. This day was initiated by Cupcakes for Life to raise awareness about abortion. Here's a cupcake. You want to talk about abortion? Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's talk about abortion and cupcakes. National Pro-Life Cupcake Day is October 9th, and this was initiated by Cupcakes for Life to raise awareness about abortion and encourage the open dialogue on this uncomfortable topic. Cupcakes are used to break the ice and reach out to the general public in a non-confrontational way to start a conversation and educate people about the taboo topic of abortion. Sure. Here, sir, would you like a cupcake? Yeah, that's a good cupcake? Yeah, good, good. So we'd like to talk to you today about abortion. No, it's not. You're not eating an aborted fetus, sir. I'm sorry to make you think you were. No, that was a chocolate-covered cherry, not a fetus. I assure you, sir, it was a cherry. Yes. Now, only 1 in 10 were fetuses. Who said that? None of them. History of National Pro-Life Cupcake Day. There's a lot of debate on the origin of cupcakes, especially since food recipes passed down through families generation to generation. But you see what they're saying? They're already working in the anti-abortion message by saying food recipes are passed down generation to generation, as if you have an abortion, you're not going to learn how to make cupcakes. The first notion of cupcakes was elaborated in American Cookery in 1796, a book compiled by Amelia Simmons, in which a recipe for a light cake to bake in small cups was written. First reference to cupcake was made by Eliza Leslie, a 19th century American author, in her book titled Recipes. In the 19th century, the term cupcake was used for 2 different purposes. Cakes that were baked in individual pottery cups, ramekins of molds, and recipes for what later became known as 1, 2, 3, 4, or quarter cakes, a cake for which ingredients were measured by volume using standard-sized cups. National Pro-Life Cupcake Day was invented by Cupcakes for Life, an organization that started the national holiday. The aim is to facilitate open, non-confrontational, non-hostile conversation about abortion. The aim of the holiday is to bring awareness to the national issue of abortion and honor the lives of unborn babies. By infusing cupcakes into a difficult and often conscientious subject, the organization hopes to bring awareness to the issues surrounding abortion without coming off as hostile. Yeah. Good luck with that. And the news. Yeah. Well, we know we know what's going on. I think we know, but there is some scary stuff going on in the Middle East, in Israel. I was actively trying to stay away from it because I'm just tired. I'm tired of shitty news. I'm tired of bad news. So I've stopped watching the news for some time. But my God, over 1,200 deaths, 1,200 Israeli deaths. God knows how many will come on the other side. Hundreds of people taken as prisoners, and by people, I mean, let's not beat around the bush. They were taking young women. They were taking young women, throwing them in the backs of trucks, tied up. We all know what's going on with them. They're not being put in a hotel room to wait out the war. What's this? Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to run for president as independent, leaving the Democratic Party. The Dow climbs nearly 200 points as investors brush off worries about rising oil prices. You know, they never know why things are going up or down. They just decide to make up a reason. And there can't be wrong. Google will stock Pixel 8 spare parts for 7 years. Sure they will. Battery will only last 2, but they'll have parts for 8. Okay. No. Let's go back to the chat. Pleasant Valley Picker, Canada says it's Canadian Thanksgiving here. Got to pop a ham in the oven soon. Dan Ben says, I don't like the smell of freshly cut grass. Schwario says, my birthday is Saturday. Schwario, remind me on Friday. I will sing you a happy birthday. Stan Lee says, just had pumpkin pie. Pleasant Valley Picker says, we had Indigenous Peoples Day last Monday. 47 Yorktown says, happy Canadian Thanksgiving Day, young sir. Thank you. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving Day to you. Pleasant Valley Picker says, I like we can have turkey earlier in October and have a few months before the next turkey. Pleasant Valley, Stan Lee says, DadOPrey 5, remember the Sopranos episode about Columbus Day? That was a good one. I kind of remember them talking about Columbus Day, but I don't remember it all that well. Pleasant Valley Picker says, I no longer give an F day. I'd observe that one. Stanley says, C60 day. I prefer M80 day when we overflow the toilets. Dan Ben says, I don't think there's a C60 in Star Wars. No, but it sounds like something that would come from Star Wars, like an R2D2 or a C3PO, C60. Pleasant Valley Picker says, I'm getting a C60 headache hearing about it. Hakeem says, wow, it looks like I need to buy some C60. It can do everything. Lol. Stanley says, the Pleasant Valley Picker, yeah, American Thanksgiving is too close to Christmas. Pleasant Valley Picker says, buy C60 and live forever. Oh, wait, not so much. Dan Ben says, I don't want to live forever and still have to dental checkups. Pleasant Valley Picker says, Stanley, I always thought so. I could not eat turkeys that close together. Hakeem says, I'm surprised they didn't need a promo code to get half off some C60. Pleasant Valley Picker says, C60 adds more to life than Viagra. Pleasant Valley Picker says, I never want to hear C60 again. Dan Ben says, science rant. Hakeem says, I'll wait for C60 if I hear it comes in new flavors. You son of a bitch. Pleasant Valley Picker says, how about a better day like Hot Babies and Leather Day? Hot Babes, excuse me. I was like, how is Hot Babies and Leather? Good day. Hot Babe and Leather Day. Dan Ben says, can I get my post delivered without it being torn? You have to respect the day for cultural diversity, not the actual topic. Pleasant Valley Picker says, isn't there beer and pizza day every day? Dan Ben Lowles. Dan Ben says, luckily in the hospital bed, you can't have your butt kicked. Dan Ben says, online banking, making banking simple. You know, I remember going to the bank with DadOPrey as a little kid. You know, DadOPrey was with us. Maybe I was 10 years old and DadOPrey was 8 years old. And we'd have to wait online. And it would take 15, 20 minutes. And, you know, you go into this big building and they've got the line set up with the velour ropes. And, yeah, like blah, 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 blah. And you go up and you speak to somebody and you do this bullshit. You gotta deposit checks and you gotta take all this stuff. And I'm seeing this, and DadOPrey is trying to explain to us that this is what you have to learn to do, that we're going to need to do this one day when we grow up. And I just knew that she was wrong. I didn't know how to explain it to her or to me, but I knew, despite her telling me this, that Mom, I would have wanted to say, Mom, we're in the middle of a story. DadOPrey just woke up. But I wanted to tell her at the time, like, Mom, we're never going to need to know any of this. Now, I didn't know it at the time, how we were going to need it, but I just knew. I just knew I would never be in that position like DadOPrey. I would not be wasting hours, maybe not hours, but even 15 minutes a week
Indications negative at this time.
going to banks. And LDG at hashtag free the net with a $2 super chat says, no C60 for Bird. He likes molecules with a soul. Well, I'm not saying C60 doesn't have a soul, but I like my molecules to have multiple atoms. I don't like spheroids. I want a definitive crystals lattice. That sounds something. Anyway, yeah, so and then sure enough, by the time I started going to the bank, my very first year of having a job, I needed to use the bank. Once I moved out of my house, I found a bank that was near my apartment, and what I could start doing without having, I went into the bank and I deposited checks like the same way DadOPrey was doing it for maybe 6 months. And then very shortly after starting, they started allowing you to deposit checks via the ATM. So once that happened, I was doing all my deposits early in the morning before the bank opened, and everything was great. And I was like, this is perfect. I never have to wait on a long line again. And then over the years, I could do a deposit any time of the day at the ATM. And later, by the end, I didn't even have, I was still making deposit slips. I still had to make out the deposit slips, and you had to put it into the ATM, and they sucked it in and whatever. And somebody manually did it later in the day. But then by the end, you didn't need to put in deposit slips. It would just read the check, scan the check, and it would just, basically what we do today with your phone, take a picture. Now you don't even have to go to the bank. But, back in 2009, I could just deposit the check into the ATM, and it would instantly deposit it into my account. Now, I just take a picture of the check with my phone, and it deposits it into my account. And I don't even need to go to the bank at all. I don't need to go to an ATM at all. So, yeah, I mean, kids today will never know what it used to be like just to hang out in a bank waiting for 20 minutes just to see somebody to make a deposit. I'm not saying things were better then, they weren't. This is much better. But you did learn, it did teach you. There's something to be said for waiting, for requiring time before you get what you wanted. Dan Benz's cupcakes are just sponge with frosting. And cupcakes are overrated. I don't know about that. Pleasant Valley Picker says, when Bird needs these days, I'm reminded the When Bird reads these days, I am reminded the world has gone totally nuts. Hakeem says, do they give you a cupcake with every abortion? If so, people might get more. Pleasant Valley Picker says, didn't the word cupcake mean a woman you were fond of back? What was it? Was it Star Trek 2009 when Kirk got called a cupcake, or he called the security guard a cupcake in the bar fight scene? Pleasant Valley Picker says, as in, hey, my little cupcake, come here. My life is scary enough. Never watch the news anymore, says Pleasant Valley Picker. Miss Lindell's Groovy Movies says, let's all hope Israel flattens Gaza and salts the earth so nothing will grow there. Pleasant Valley Picker says, sad that Israel and the Palestinians can't agree to peace. As long as they keep attacking each other, the pain will never end. Well, if one side wins, the pain kind of goes away. It's unfortunate for the loser. Pleasant Valley Pickers has got to go. Have fun, Bird and chat. Take care, Pleasant Valley Picker. Dan Van says, doing things online is okay if you can get a signal. Mr. Lundell says, now you don't even need a bank. There's Cash App, exactly. Bradley Briggs says, hand a kid a Nintendo, Super Nintendo, or Nintendo 64 controller. Jim's Landscape says, PvP is trying to eat her cupcake. There. Let's see. We got some, let's do our Wordle today. Wordle, October 9th. If you would be so kind, guys, gals, somebody, put in a 5-letter word into the chat, and I will start from there. Preferably a 5-letter word with multiple letters, not a whole lot of repeats, but, you know. And Gorilla has it today with Ouija. Ouija. And we've got a U. Only letter we got is a U in the wrong space. And Mr. Longell says peace, P-I-E-C-E, but let's see. It doesn't have the U, and the I is not there, and there's 2 E's, but you know what? We'll use it anyway. And nothing. All we have is a U. Okay. So something where the U is not the T-H-U-M-B. Okay. So we have the T in the right space. We have an H somewhere else. T-R-U, maybe. T-R-U. S-H, thrush. Maybe. Is there an S? Thrush. Thrush isn't a word. Trush. Trush. T-R-U. Truth. Truth. T-R-U-T-H. Nice. Nice. We got it. That was a quick one. Oh, that was because a lot of letters got eliminated in those first two words. Bradley Briggs is the best thing they ever made. Yes, the GameCube. Dan Benz just forgot the cupcake and have frosting from a can. Miss Lindell can't see the board. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, guys. Miss Lindell can't see the board. Dan Benz, I don't see the Wordle screen. Miss Lindell must be blind. I can't see the whole board. Son of a bitch. Sorry, Bradley Briggs. Long one for us. Well, that's how it was. I put in a Ouija, peace, thumb, and I worked it to truth. Okay, we're going to do some Dear Bops in just a minute. I'll be right back. Captain's log, stardate unknown. It's been 3 months since my return from the Mirror universe. Like the Mirror universe, where I was forced to dispense pain with antagonizers and agony booths, the Mirror universe is the same but opposite. I am forced to dispense pleasure with orgasmatizers and the ever-popular ecstasy booth. Upon my return, I provided Chief Engineer Scott and Dr. McCoy with detailed blueprints, recreating this fantastic technology, yet neither has been able to reproduce it at all. Therefore, effective noon tomorrow, I will self-destruct the Enterprise, unless they meet my demands. What was that, Captain? Do your job, Mr. Chekhov. Dun 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 dun. Chief Medical Officer's log. The captain has been pestering me for this ecstasy booth for weeks now. I tried to tell him his mirror universe was just a fever dream. There wasn't even an ion storm or transporter involved. But he did assign me several young female crew members and a couple wet behind the ears engineers jumping at the chance to make a name for themselves, even if it's just in the medical journals. I hope that Captain is happy with our new toy. Happy with what, Doc? Jim, there you are. Just in time to see my latest invention. Nurse Chapel, please get on the table. What? Come now, nurse. We're all professionals. Hey, let's get Spock and Scotty in here. Good idea, Bones. Should I get Sulu, too? No, I don't think this is up his alley. We're all here, Doc. Let's see it. We've had tricorders and medical tricorders, but now I present the first vaginal tricorder. Vaginal? Bones, what the hell is this thing? Well, you stick this up there, and in 45 short minutes, you know everything about a woman's vagina you ever wanted to know. Watch me demonstrate on Nurse Chapel. Oh, God, no! The number of sexual partners, days since her last period, how many times she's read Shades of Grey. It's all there. Fascinating. Good job, Doc. You've earned your pay for the week. Dun, dun, dun. Captain's log. Stardate, my birthday. Last year, everyone forgot, even Mr. Spock, who was locked in Nurse Chapel's quarters for some sort of procedure. This year, I thought ahead and beamed the entire medical staff to. May I interrupt? Yes, Spock, what is it? I want you to know I did not forget your birthday this year. My birthday? Why, however did you know? Must have been my human intuition. That's extraordinary. Before you beamed Dr. McCoy away, I asked what your favorite cake was. I'm having one beamed directly to the bridge. Do you think that's a good idea? Ordinarily not, but it is your birthday. I think we can bend the rules for today. Bend the rules. This is terrific. Mr. Scott, if you please. Aye, sir. It's a bit smaller than I imagined. Unless, of course, it's one of those cakes that's bigger on the inside. Curious. Spock, how did you fit a lady in such a small cake? I do not understand the Happy birthday! I've come to cut the cake! Ayah! No, Sulu, don't! Sorry, sir, too late! Bridge to sickbay. There are no medical staff on board. She's going to bleed out. She. The lady in the cake. No one was in the cake. It's Orion chocolate. Dr. McCoy said it's your favorite. Bones said that? I'm highly allergic to Orion chocolate. If I ate this cake, we would have had to beam the doctor back immediately. So, no woman, and I'm stuck here with a shirtless Sulu. By the way, crewman, why are you out of uniform? I thought this was going to be a party. Captain, Dr. McCoy is asking if he and his staff can beam back up. They've grown quite tired of the Fairy Festival of Soho 7. Fairy Fest, that's today! I forgot! Permission to beam down, sir! Granted. He forgot his sword, sir! Don't worry, I have a feeling he's going to have more swords down there than he can handle. Dun 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 dun. And we're back. Okay. The unfortunate thing is that due to the way the system works, it cuts off like the last half second of audio. But most of those things, the last half second of audio is a joke or important. So yeah, I might have to rethink. I probably need to re-render the short tracks to have an extra second or two of blank audio for the ones I stream on this. Whereas the YouTube shorts, it's very important they don't have any blank audio. They need to start immediately. It's just, nothing can be easy. Everything needs to be just a little bit harder than it needs to be. So no worries, I'll take care of it eventually. So to the Dear Bops, and yes, Dan Ben, there haven't been as many Dear Bops, that is true. Dan Ben says, fan-made Star Trek spoof, yes. Antiderivative Jill is laughing. Welcome, Antiderivative Jill, to the stream. Let's get to Dear Bop. Unfortunately, forgot to put Wordle up. We have 3 Dear Bops, so not a tremendous amount, but it's something. Dear Joe, I was wondering if I could use some of your Jaloja. I have a pee test for a new job, and my pee might have stuff in it that might be, let's just say, problematic. I will pay you $100 for a small container, sealed please, of your clean urine. Thanks, buddy. You're helping out an old buddy, and I will still owe you one. Salty. I never said it was clean urine. Just, you have to confirm you're not paying for clean urine, you're paying for Karogan urine. I make no promises as to it being clean. Also, it may have Karoganite. We try to strain for Karoganite, but we don't always catch it all. So just make sure you specify in writing that you're okay with Karoganite. Dear Bop, Simpsons Wiki, my best friend. My best friend's gay baby is a movie starring Sarah Sloan. The movie is about a best friend's gay baby. Okay. I'm not 100% sure to what that refers, but dear Bob, I heard you were starting a Star Trek drag show at your house, and I would love to participate. I heard you were going to dress up as Nurse Chapel, and I want to honor Uhura with a very short red uniform. Oops, maybe I wasn't supposed to say anything about the drag show on your forum. Sorry. Anyway, maybe others in your audience would also like to participate. I heard that Deej and LDG have been known to throw on some short dresses and dance around from time to time. Anyway, talk to you soon, Captain Fandom Nerd. Yeah, I highly doubt this was Captain Phantom Nerd, and I can assure you there are no drag shows going on here. Dear Bop, test your mental might. 1. Curious little monkey, does Curious George have a tail? Guess. Answer, no. Curious George does not have a tail. Okay. I probably should have guessed. Try as I might picture him in my mind, I did not picture a tail. 2, peanut butter time. What's the name of the famous peanut butter brand? Jiffy or Jif? Jif. Yeah, Jif. HBO's classic. Is it Sex in the City or Sex and the City? I never watched it. I think it's End the City. Yes, that was right. Rock band finale. How does Queen's song We Are the Champions end? Does it conclude with of the world? We are the champions. You are the losers. We are the champions of the world. Hi, Sassy. I guess she's singing with me. I have no idea how the song ends. I think they just repeat the same line over and over again. No, it simply ends with no time for losers because we are the champions. Okay. Board game mascot. Does Monopoly Man wear a monocle? No. No, he doesn't have a monocle. Pikachu's detail. I don't know what Pikachu. Pikachu is the yellow Pokemon. Does Pikachu have a black detailing on its tail? I have no idea. I've never looked. I've never cared. No, it's just plain yellow. DiCaprio's Oscar. Did Leonardo DiCaprio win an Oscar for Titanic? I have no idea. I wouldn't care. Never watched the Oscars. No, he won his first Oscar for The Revenant. Star Wars line. What does Darth Vader say? Is it Luke, I am your father, or something else? I always thought it was I am your father, but then I realized it's not. It's, no, I am your father. He doesn't say, Luke, I am your father. He says, no, I am your father. Sinbad's film career. I don't know who these people are. I know of them. Was there a genie movie starring comedian Sinbad? No, no such movie ever existed. Ford's signature. Does the Ford logo have a curly wave at the end of the F? I'm going to guess no. Yes, it had one, a little flare, since the 1990s. Forrest's wisdom. How much is there? How does Forrest Gump describe life? Life is like a box of chocolates. Or life was like a box of chocolates. Life is like a box of chocolates. Well, I thought it was is like. Life is like a box of chocolates. You're never sure which one you're going to get. He says life was like a box of chocolates. That's fine. I can believe that. JFK's tragedy. How many passengers were in JFK's car during the assassination? 4 or 6? Oh, wait. You have the driver. You had the guy sitting, I guess, next to the driver. And you had JFK and his wife in the back seat. I don't know if there were other people. I don't even think there were 4. I think there was 3. 6. Well, fuck if I know. 13. Ricky's phrase. Did Ricky Ricardo ever say, Lucy, you've got some splaining to do? Well, I think he did. No, he never said that exact phrase. Well, it's just going to be like Scotty saying, beam me up. Disney saying villain's name. How is Cruella's last name spelled in 101 Dalmatians? I have no idea. Devil. Oreo stuffing. How is the double-filled Oreo variant spelled? Oreo double stuff or double stuff? I have no idea. 1F. Smokey's title. Is it Smokey the Bear or Smokey Bear? Obviously, Smokey Bear. States in the USA. How many states were taught in early American history? 50, 51, or 52? Early American history would have been 13, but there's only 50 states. Does Kit Kat have a hyphen? Don't care. Mr. Rogers song. How does Mr. Rogers' theme song go? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, or it's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. I don't remember the this, but I'm sure it has it. Yes, there it is. Silence of the Lambs greeting. No idea. Good morning. Risky business attire. Never seen it. C-3PO's leg. Gold. No, he's got a silver leg. Cheesy snack. How is the cheesy snack spelled? Is it Cheez-Its or Cheez-Its? I thought it's with a Z. No, Cheez-It. Okay. Gandalf's advice. Never watched it. Snow White's mirror. What does the evil queen's mirror say? Mirror, mirror on the wall, or magic mirror on. I guess it says magic. Yeah. Okay. That was entirely too long. But anyway. Captain Infinity is in the house. Welcome, Captain Infinity. Some popcorn. Viva Caroga, says Caroga Knight. Dan Benz, I've only seen one episode of Seinfeld, and the lady keeps being positive on a drug test for work. Had to do with poppy seed she was eating. Andrew Jill says it doesn't end with of the world, but it should. It drives me crazy. Dan Ben says, who is Sinbad? Darren Wagner says, it makes no sense for Vader to say, Luke, I am your father, because he's already talking to Luke, and they're the only 2 people in the room. The multi-gun man says, Bird. Hey, Bird, how's it going? Going okay, multi-gun man. How are you? LDG says, those are all Mandela examples. I know what they are. I know what they are. Dan Ben says, yeah, beam me up, Scotty. Never actually said, though they did the movies. Says Jill. Smokey the Bird, says multi-gun man. It's not cheese tits. God damn it. A happy Thanksgiving to the Canadians from Jill. Dan Ben says cheese bowls. Multi-gun man says thank you to Jill. Resolute Germ says half of those aren't even true. Jim says, hail to Captain Finity. And Germ, and the Multigun Man says, I'm doing good. Bird. That's wonderful to hear. But with that, guys, I'm going to call it a day. I need to get a little food in me. And yeah, I'm a bit, as you can tell, I'm a bit tired today. It's a bit down today. Remembering DadOPrey. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I'm also a bit worried about what's going on. Not that I know anybody in the way, but I don't know anybody in Israel. I don't know anybody in the Middle East. But these kind of things have a way of spreading. I'm not particularly positive at the moment. I do hope you all take care. I want everyone here to be safe. Because I do care about all of you. And I wouldn't want anything to happen to any of us. So please keep an eye on your loved ones, keep an eye on yourselves. Let's try and make it a few more weeks. Hopefully things will start to get better soon. Better for everybody. Okay, guys. Thank you. Kapla all. Bird out.